Selena Gomez's journey to becoming a beauty industry trailblazer didn't start with a business plan or a boardroom meeting. It began in the unlikeliest of places, under the harsh spotlight of fame, where the pressures of perfection often take a toll. From the outside, her life seemed like a dream come true. She was a child star turned global sensation, dazzling millions with her smile, her talent, and her seemingly effortless charm. Selena first rose to fame as Alex Russo, the witty and mischievous lead on Disney Channel's Wizards of Waverly Place. At just 15 years old, she was living the life countless kids dreamed of, wearing designer dresses to red carpet premieres and gracing magazine covers. But behind the scenes, the reality was far more complex than the picture-perfect image portrayed on screen. Selena has often described her early career as a double-edged sword. On one hand, she was grateful for the opportunities and the love of her fans. On the other, the constant scrutiny of her appearance, her body, and her choices began to weigh heavily on her. What teenager wouldn't feel overwhelmed being told to look flawless 24/7? By the time she transitioned into music, Selena was no longer just the girl next door Disney star. She was now a pop icon, releasing chart-topping hits like Come and Get It and Good For You. Her fan base grew exponentially, and so did the pressure. Beneath the glamorous exterior, Selena was battling something much harder to see: anxiety, depression, and a serious autoimmune disease called lupus. In 2016, Selena shocked the world when she canceled her revival tour midway through its run. At the time, she cited her lupus diagnosis as the reason, but there was more to the story. Later, she revealed that the physical and emotional tolls of her career had become too much to bear. She retreated from the public eye, took a break from social media, and sought treatment for her mental health. But Rare Beauty's commitment to diversity went beyond its products. The brand made a point of featuring models from all walks of life: people with disabilities, people of different body types, people with visible skin conditions like vitiligo or rosacea. In one campaign, Rare Beauty featured a young woman with Down syndrome applying the brand's foundation, proving that beauty is for everyone. These images weren't just powerful, they were transformative. By making diversity the default, Rare Beauty set a new standard for inclusivity in the beauty industry. One of the most significant ways Rare Beauty challenged the beauty industry was by flipping the script on how products were marketed. Historically, beauty brands have preyed on insecurities to sell more products. Ads often highlighted flaws like wrinkles, dark spots, or uneven skin tones, followed by promises that their products could fix them. This messaging reinforced the idea that people needed to change themselves to be beautiful. Rare Beauty took a radically different approach. Instead of focusing on what was wrong, it celebrated what was right. The brand's messaging was centered on empowerment, self-love, and individuality. Selena often said that Rare Beauty products weren't designed to transform people but to enhance what was already there. Her goal wasn't to create a brand that made people feel like they needed makeup to be beautiful. It was to create a brand that made people feel beautiful with or without it. This philosophy was reflected in Rare Beauty's product design. The foundations and concealers were lightweight, allowing the skin's natural texture to shine through. The blushes and highlighters were buildable, giving users the freedom to create looks that felt authentic to them. But Selena didn't stop at fundraising. Rare Beauty also took steps to integrate mental health awareness into its brand DNA. The company's website features a dedicated section for mental health resources, offering tools and support for those in need. Selena has also partnered with therapists, advocates, and nonprofits to host wellness events and summits. These events aren't about selling products, they're about creating spaces where people can feel safe, heard, and valued. In a 2025 interview, Selena explained why this mission was so important to her. Makeup is fun, but it's not what makes you beautiful. What makes you beautiful is how you feel about yourself. And if I can help even one person feel more confident or less alone, then Rare Beauty has done its job. What made Rare Beauty's mission so impactful was its authenticity. This wasn't a marketing strategy cooked up in a boardroom. It was a reflection of Selena's own values, her own struggles, and her own vision for a better world. By focusing on self-acceptance, inclusivity, and mental health, Rare Beauty created something far more powerful than a makeup line. It created a movement. In an industry that often profits from insecurity, Rare Beauty dared to do the opposite. It empowered people to embrace their uniqueness, to see their imperfections as strengths, and to believe that they were enough, just as they were. And that's what set it apart. By 2025, the Rare Impact Fund had raised over $100 million, an extraordinary achievement that underscored Selena's dedication to giving back. The fund has supported countless organizations, from grassroots nonprofits to large-scale mental health initiatives. For Selena, this wasn't just about writing checks. It was about making a tangible difference in people's lives. Rare Beauty regularly partners with therapists, advocates, and educators to provide tools and resources for those in need. In one particularly heartwarming story, Rare Beauty hosted a free mental health workshop for teens in Los Angeles. The event included therapy sessions, self-care activities, and a Q&A with Selena herself. For many attendees, it was a life-changing experience. What truly set Rare Beauty apart during its rise to the top was its ability to build a community. This wasn't just a brand that sold makeup, it was a movement that encouraged people to embrace their uniqueness, share their struggles, and support one another. Rare Beauty's customers weren't just consumers, they were advocates. They proudly shared their stories, tagged their friends in Rare Beauty challenges, and even posted barefaced selfies to celebrate their natural beauty. Selena often says that Rare Beauty's greatest success isn't its sales or awards, it's the community it has created. By 2023, Rare Beauty wasn't just a beauty brand, it was a cultural phenomenon. Selena Gomez had proven the skeptics wrong. Her vision of a purpose-driven, inclusive, and authentic brand had resonated with millions around the world. Rare Beauty's rise to the top wasn't about flashy marketing or celebrity hype. It was about heart, honesty, and a commitment to making people feel seen, valued, and beautiful, just as they are. And the best part? This was only the beginning. For Gen Z, Selena Gomez is more than just a celebrity. She's a role model. Her message of self-love, imperfection, and inner strength resonates deeply with a generation that's tired of curated perfection and unrealistic beauty standards. Rare Beauty has built a fiercely loyal community. On TikTok, users proudly share their #RareRoutine videos, showing off bare faces and embracing their natural beauty. They discuss mental health openly, breaking down stigmas and creating a safe space for others to join the conversation. This isn't just branding, it's a movement of belonging. For many fans, Selena's vulnerability was a turning point. Here was a global superstar, someone who seemingly had it all, admitting that she struggled too. It made people feel less alone, less ashamed, and more willing to seek help themselves. This authenticity became a hallmark of Rare Beauty. The brand wasn't just advocating for mental health in theory, it was living it in practice. Rare Beauty's mental health mission extended far beyond Selena herself. It became a collective effort, fueled by the stories and experiences of its community. On social media, Rare Beauty customers began sharing their own mental health journeys using hashtags like #RareRoutine and #YouAreRare. These posts weren't just about makeup, they were about self-love, resilience, and healing. One viral trend involved users applying their Rare Beauty products while sharing affirmations like, "I am enough," and "I am worthy." Others opened up about their struggles with anxiety, depression, and body image, often tagging Rare Beauty as a source of inspiration. The brand amplified these voices, reposting user-generated content and celebrating the diversity of its community. It wasn't about selling products, it was about creating a safe space where people felt seen and valued. In 2025, Rare Beauty hosted its first-ever mental health summit in Los Angeles. The event brought together therapists, advocates, and everyday people to discuss the importance of mental health. One of the most memorable moments came during Selena's keynote speech, where she said, "Beauty is not in how you look, it's in how you feel. And we all deserve to feel safe, heard, and valued." That's what Rare Beauty is about. It's about kindness, to ourselves and to others. The summit was a resounding success, sparking conversations about mental health that extended far beyond the beauty industry. For many, this might have looked like the end of her career, but for Selena, it was the beginning of something far more important. During this period of self-reflection, Selena began to question the very idea of beauty that had been ingrained in her since childhood. Why were so many people, especially women, made to feel like they had to change themselves to be accepted? Why did the beauty industry thrive on insecurities, selling products that promised perfection but often left people feeling even more inadequate? These questions stayed with her as she worked on healing, both physically and emotionally. She realized that beauty wasn't about looking a certain way, it was about feeling good in your own skin. And the more she thought about it, the more she wanted to create something that could help others feel the same way. In 2020, Selena made a bold decision. She was going to launch her own beauty brand. But this wouldn't be just another celebrity vanity project. Rare Beauty would be different. Selena wanted to create a brand that didn't hide imperfections but celebrated them. She envisioned a line of products that were lightweight, versatile, and easy to use. A brand that didn't cater to an impossible standard of beauty but instead encouraged self-expression and confidence. The name, Rare Beauty, came from a deeply personal place. Selena has often said that the word, rare, embodies everything she wants to stand for, embracing what makes us unique, rather than trying to fit into a mold. But not everyone was convinced. When Selena first announced Rare Beauty, critics were quick to roll their eyes. The beauty industry was already saturated with celebrity-led brands. Kylie Jenner had her billion-dollar Kylie Cosmetics. Rihanna was dominating the market with Fenty Beauty. Did the world really need another celebrity selling makeup? For most of its history, the beauty industry has pushed a singular vision of perfection. Fair skin, flawless features, and impossibly smooth textures were the standards plastered across advertisements, store displays, and social media feeds. This wasn't just a coincidence, it was a calculated strategy. Brands knew that by creating unattainable ideals, they could sell products that promised to fix imperfections. From wrinkle-reducing creams to full-coverage foundations, the industry profited off the insecurities it created. Selena Gomez had seen this play out firsthand. As a celebrity, she was constantly constantly under the microscope. Paparazzi photos of her without makeup were dissected online, pointing out every blemish, every perceived flaw. Social media filters and the pressure to appear perfect only made things worse. But Selena wasn't just fed up for herself. She knew millions of others felt the same way. Young people, especially girls and women, were growing up in a world where they felt like they had to filter their faces and hide their imperfections to be accepted. Rare beauty was her answer to this toxic cycle. In a world that often tells people they need to change to be beautiful, rare beauty is a powerful reminder that beauty is about kindness, confidence, and self-acceptance. Selena's approach has rewritten the rules, and her legacy as a beauty industry rule-breaker is just beginning. In the beauty industry, diversity is often treated as an afterthought. Brands will launch products with 10 or 15 shades of foundation, only to release a broader range after being called out by consumers. Models and campaigns are often heavily retouched, their skin airbrushed to perfection. Rare Beauty flipped this script. From day one, the brand prioritized inclusivity. Its foundation and concealer lines launched with 48 shades, catering to a wide range of skin tones and undertones. Campaigns featured models with acne, freckles, scars, and vitiligo, people who looked like the customers Rare Beauty wanted to serve. But it wasn't just about the models. Rare Beauty also focused on creating a community where everyone felt welcome. The brand's social media was filled with real users, not just influencers or celebrities, sharing their stories and their favorite products. For Selena, this wasn't just good business. It was personal. She knew what it felt like to see an industry that didn't reflect her reality. As a Latina woman, she had often struggled to find products that matched her skin tone and undertones. She wanted Rare Beauty to be different, a brand where everyone, no matter their background, could feel represented. Rare Beauty's mission didn't stop at inclusivity. At its heart was a deep commitment to mental health. For Selena, this wasn't just a passion project. It was a cause that had shaped her life. She had spent years battling anxiety and depression, and she knew how isolating those struggles could feel. That's why, from the very beginning, Rare Beauty pledged to give back. A portion of every purchase goes to the Rare Impact Fund, an initiative dedicated to increasing access to mental health resources. By 2025, the fund had raised over $100 million, providing support to countless individuals and organizations. Selena Gomez isn't just changing the beauty industry, she's redefining what beauty means. Not perfection, not trends, not comparison, but kindness, confidence, self-acceptance. In a world full of noise, Selena's voice is clear: you are rare, you are worthy, and you are never alone. Backhand index pointing down. Comment below, what's your favorite thing about Rare Beauty? Pushpin subscribe for more inspiring celebrity stories. Clapperboard, thanks for watching.